The Great Spirit is coming back to planet Earth. But you can miss it if you don't attune to its frequency. You have to attune your tuning fork, which is actually your body, to attune to the frequency of the Great Spirit. And the thing that actually the Great Spirit is what people call God. Or is what they call the source, or the universe. Consciousness that is coming back to planet Earth. We're living in, quote unquote, the end times, which actually is just a transformational period of us moving into a higher frequency, from a lower density, moving into a higher frequency of more togetherness, more understanding, more working together, more love, as they would like to call it, over thousands of years. And the Great Spirit actually is not a term out of Christianity. It's a term that came to me, and it is from the Native Americans. And I actually felt it deep inside of my heart, inside of my consciousness protocol, deep inside of my left, my deeper heart, my inner knowing, that actually everyone has, that is all around us, that's living inside of us, and that everyone can access. But it requires silence, and it requires patience, and it requires to move into the body where all the pain and all the sadness and all the anger is stored. It's required to move out of the head and into the heart, where actually all the pain and all the sadness is stored of your past human life. And maybe some people even say past lives. But all that fear that we feel there, all that emotion that is stored in the body, is actually the pain holding us back from becoming who we actually are. The real us. The real frequency, the real vibration of consciousness, of love, instead of the projection and the shadow that's coming from here. The Great Spirit is coming back to Earth. You see this in global awakening. People are waking up to the truth. A lot of people where you weren't able to be speaking about certain subjects with them a few years back are now suddenly able to grasp it, are now suddenly telling you, yeah, of course, I know the government isn't always doing all the nice things. There's a lot of people with a lot of power in this world. Of course, but what do I do with it? And some people even tell you that you are the problem because of focusing on it, and you just have to ignore it again, while you were speaking about those things 15 years back, when people called you crazy, when people called you delusional. Oh.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Did you see that? Let's rewind that back a little bit.
Called you crazy, when people called you delusional. Oh.
This tends to happen more often in my life. I'm just speaking about a subject and suddenly a synchronicity shows up, like a branch just having a near miss with my head. And in that moment, I don't consciously recognize what it's about. But only now, after watching the video back during the editing process, I see that it actually told me a message at that moment. And this moment of reflection showed me that this branch is actually a metaphor for the thing my mind is actually speaking about. That it's as easy as dodging this branch, just as the same I could dodge those emotional attacks or the perceived emotional attacks, which are just projections of other people in that moment. But only because of the reason that the branch can be taken personally, or at least it could be, but it's kind of funny when you do, probably. That's why it was so easy to dodge and not to be attached to that experience. So this insight gave me a new metaphor that the next time when I feel something happening, I can just dodge it, like just the same as the branch, you know? Instead of taking it personally and letting the mind have all these questions like, why is the world this way and why can people be so not nice? All right, let's go back to the video.
that they were trying to hold you back, to pull you down into their frequency level again, in their fear-based ignorance, not willing to see ostrich behavior level of consciousness. But the reality is, the world around you has changed. The vibration has changed. But the invitation and the game has stayed exactly the same. And it's for you to remember that you already knew inside what was true and what was a lie. Because even 15 years back, when you first saw this, that you were willing to see something or willing to feel something that other people weren't willing to, the message and the invitation now is exactly the same. It's for you to stay true to yourself and to actually know what's living here deep inside of you. And that you are going to make the choice again to trust you yourself deep inside of here, or you're going to listen to all those other people trying to hold you back again because they are scared of looking what's hidden deep inside of here. Because it's very simple. The mind makes it very big. But when we actually go in here and we see what's hidden there and we just feel through it, feel through the emotion, through the harshness, through the pain, the suffering, the sadness, the anger, all that stuff, it resolves pretty quickly when we stay just present with it there. It's way less pain, even in the short term, than it is to just let it stay there and to constantly keep bumping against the same roadblocks that you have hidden inside of your own body, stored there. Like emotion getting stuck, of not moving again, electricity in motion stopping. It's just something that gets stuck there. Like ice, for instance. Water is moving, certainly at a certain moment when something hurts so bad, the water stops moving, electricity and the electromagnetic field freezes it, and suddenly it becomes ice, immovable. It's like shards hidden inside of yourself. But they're still there, even if you just ignore the feeling when you detach your nervous system. The shards are still there, right? So what you're going to do then, what a lot of people are doing in the world, is trying to avoid that pain, trying to avoid that shard in yourself, that thorn. And they're coming up with all those smart ideas of not having to feel the emotion, the feeling, what's actually there, which creates all the problems that we have in the world right now. People are not able to connect anymore out of an open, loving heart. They're not open to speak about their emotions anymore because it hurts too much. They're not being able to connect anymore because if you can't accept the negative emotions, then you also can't accept the positive emotions. So actually this functioning structure that this society has created as an example for everyone to follow, to just suppress the emotion, to not speak about it, to not be able to portray and to show the sadness and the anger and the fear that we actually have of the world and where it's moving towards, then you actually get the whole same thing again. It's not functional because there's a lot of people walking here, so sometimes I have to pass and say hi, but yeah, I don't know, man. Sometimes it's just hard. I'm just gonna walk like this. So, just cut that out, maybe. So the thing that you get then, people are trying to, not like I'm doing now. This exactly is the example, because I find this hard, right? I'm speaking to a camera. I'm speaking English in a Dutch country. We have a culture here of judgment. People will look at you and portray and send out an energy of judgment. That you're weird and people just don't understand it and they look at you like this. Like they have a big, like they are pooping in their pants because they don't feel comfortable. And they project that uncomfortableness on other people. I've been there, I've done that, so that's why I know how it works. But the actual thing is to just now walk back and just walk past that woman and just keep speaking and say hi in between. And I feel I actually have to do that now. So we're gonna do that. Just say hi to that emotion and not walk away from it. Because, yeah, it will put me off a little bit, like you see now. But this is the hard thing that actually brings the growth. To have that difficult conversation with your parents. To tell them what you actually felt in the past, that you weren't seen and fully met in your emotional needs in the past. Because everyone has one thing, right? It's always dual. You always have the left or the right side that hasn't been filled, because we just live in a dual world. Maybe there are some exceptions, like the Native American people who are able to meet their children on a level of consciousness instead of light or dark. But I have a feeling it's very rare. Rare. So walk back to all these people. They're all walking there. I feel these emotions in my body, but I go deeper inside of myself. And I tell myself, I trust myself, I love myself, I know what I'm doing. And I know why I have to do this. Because after the first time, it gets easier. Actually, I know that woman and that dog. Because the first time it's hard, but afterwards it gets easier, like with everything, right? But first you have to go within to see what is actually hidden there, instead of not going there because you're scared of what you're going to find, right? So how do you do that? Here we go again. Vipassana technique. This is actually the thing that Jesus also did. This is the whole invitation for the whole of humanity. To learn what Vipassana actually is. Because it just keeps coming back to me that the body is a portal to reach that consciousness and not through the head. You can't solve a yin energy as a problem with a yin energy as a solution. You have to introduce the opposite force. I'm walking all these people now. If I'm ashamed of myself, willing to run away from my emotions because I find things hard, because I feel like an idiot and I've been judged for all my life just by people who aren't willing to do the stuff that I'm willing to do, calling me weird because I feel stuff that I took the time to feel, that I see stuff that I took the time to be willing to see it, to sit 10 days on a cushion, to do psychedelics, to go through all that sadness, through all that anger. And then the people who aren't willing and never did the work are telling you what is true and what is not true. And you're letting me actually, and my story of the past, and a lot of people in this world, let those people decide where you are going to let your life be led. What is true, what is untrue, who to trust, what not to trust. But the actual invitation is to remember who you are deep inside of here. And you are not the person doubting yourself all the time. So when you sit in silence, when you are sitting on that cushion, the mind will become still. First it will go screaming. All the things, all the fears, all the things you still need to do. The things that the bills you have to pay, the job you have to do, all the people that you wronged because you are sitting on a cushion. All these afleidingen, all these
What happens here is interesting again. I'm speaking about distractions, and exactly at that moment, I get totally distracted by my own mind. So I decided to give myself the time to tune into my body again and find the word that I was looking for. Ultimately, it took 1 minute to get back into my body again and find the right word derived through embodiment. So I'll save you that part.
all these distractions, all these contradictions, all these separations that are being created in you. The duality, the crack that is being formed in you because of this apparatus here, thinking and controlling and needing to rationalize everything, to prove everything. while there's a deep knower inside of here. The Great Spirit is connected to here. In Christianity, they call it the Holy Spirit. It's the moving spirit. I will put the picture on the screen because I saw a painting at the house of a guy that I went to for a family opstelling. I don't know how you call it in English, but a meditation on your family lines. And I actually saw that we are all having that little God spark, the Great Spirit spark, in our hearts, like a radio receiver, being able to attune to a certain frequency of the Great Spirit coming to the planet. And the Holy Spirit is the unseeable connection to the greater whole of the Great Spirit, like a white luminance of energy, constantly flowing like water, having all the colors in it that you can possibly imagine, but way deeper than the physical eye can see. It's like neon, but deeper than neon. You can actually feel the color. You will be one with the color. You are the color. This is the Great Spirit moving through you, living inside of you, which we all are, which we all are being invited to move back home. It's coming to the planet to pick us up. And we can choose if we want to step onto that vibration, onto that train. The Great Father, the Great Spirit is coming back. And the question is, what choice do you make? But we first have to move through 4D, and then we go to 5D. So you have to see very clearly the distractions, the AI, the robots that will come, however it will manifest. If it's a crisis, or a virus, or a global pandemic, or a World War III, or aliens coming back to the planet, it doesn't matter. It's all distraction. All distraction from what is happening here, the transformation. But if you let
That's what I call growth. First he wants to run away, and now he does it like he has always done it this way.
The distractions capture your consciousness and your attention that's living inside of you. You have to make a choice, this one or this one. Where do you center? Then you will miss the train. And you will go on the other train, but that's the subway going down. So you can choose. Do you want to fly like a bird? Or do you want to crawl like a worm under the earth? You can choose. That's free will. But what is not free will, that this time will come. And that a lot of people are telling you that 5D is coming and you're already whole and you don't have to do anything. But they're forgetting one important thing. You have to see the challenge and you have to know and to see what's coming so that you don't step onto the first train, but you wait for the second one. And you will feel when it's right because you have a deep compass of truth here living inside of you, but you have to attune. You have to train like a muscle, like a conscious muscle. And you do that by sitting in silence. They call it praying or affirmations. It's actually the same thing in a different form. Praying is more speaking out of duality. Please, Father, help me. I don't know what I'm doing. Help me to see what is true and what is untrue. Release this burden of my heart. Make me courageous enough to feel my emotions, to solve my family lines, to find the balance inside of myself, to be able to speak to those people who I need to speak to find the inner resonance, to attune myself to you. And then the next level is level 2. You're starting to listen. You're starting to feel, to listen from here. What is the source actually communicating to me? It's like a flow. It's like that luminous river flowing through you. It's like a feeling of dancing, of moving, constantly moving, of deep colors. But you need to put the time and effort in to find that place again, because it has been suppressed for many years, maybe your whole life even. But if you feel when this message is resonating with you, you know that you are willing to take that time to go inside to your great spirit portal, and that you want to move on the luminescence train instead of the darkness train going downwards. You can do this. I believe in you. The Great Spirit believes in you. This is already planned. And a new world is coming inevitably. Inevitably. The question is just, are you going to jump on, or are you going to miss the train? Attune your tuning fork. Attune your body. Attune your frequency to the frequency of the Great Spirit. The all-knowing luminescence force. Let go of your ego. Let go of all the people that call you crazy. Let go of all the attacks that people will launch at you because of you being into resonance and into connection. And seeing that you are weird, that you are delusional. Because when you go back here into silence, you see what stays there. Because they're not willing to stay in silence. They're only reading books. They're only speaking to other people. They're only showing their egos of making pictures of themselves. And they're only giving advice to other people on what to do and what not to do. They're not even listening. And some days they have good days, and some days they even have just judgmental days. Right? If they don't feel well, they don't treat other people well. But that is actually not the invitation. The invitation is to stay in your own energy, independently of what you feel, of your emotions. Step beyond that place of fear, doubt, and uncertainty, and of judgment. So guys, with that being said, I'm going to end this video. Do the work. Go inside. Do the work to stop doing work. And to start to do the emotional work. To just be there, to just feel. Vipassana. Feel the sensations and the emotions on your body. Apply the old technique of the Buddhas that Gautama Buddha taught us. That actually Jesus also did, because I'm discovering the path deeper and deeper and deeper, also into the scriptures. That even in the Nag Hammadi scriptures, there's references of Thomas being in India. So, guys, and Thomas being the twin brother of Judas. What are we speaking about? This is so much more mystical than they have had us trying to believe for 1600 plus years. With the canonical Bible, that everybody's saying, oh, you can only read the Bible because otherwise it will be from the devil. Who says that? That's actually the devil that's willing to keep you in a circle of belief. So open up your minds, start to go into your heart, and start awakening and help other people awakening, because the great awakening is coming and we need souls to do this stuff, not alone. Let's do this together with all these people here. Let go of your insecurity and just do it. Goodbye. I love you. Bye.